Shalom and greetings to you all. April showers do not look like they'll lead to Mayflowers. There were showers, but with frost warnings. I know this will sound terrible, but I miss global warming. But I hope all of you, your Passover is going great. You're celebrating your freedom from the fear and constraint that may have held you in its grip. And freedom's a pretty good feeling. And here we are at the other of the twin festivals, Easter, Gute Freitag, Good Friday. Given that it's the day Jesus was flogged, ordered to carry the cross on which he would be crucified, and then put to death, I always wondered what was so good about it. Well, it might have been a tough day, but the good actually comes from the sense of it being a pious or a holy day, marking a shift in belief and an ultimate schism from its parent, Judaism. Now, because we know many of the Christian holidays have pagan origins in addition to their Jewish connection, Easter is no different. It's believed it comes from Istre, a Germanic spring goddess festival whose name was a derivation of Ishtar, a holiday that began as a sex festival. Maybe that's where the idea of the Easter bunny comes from. Oh, how things change. Now, one of the more interesting things that has come up about Easter is the debate as to when Christ died, Wednesday or Friday. Now, the Wednesday theory is about 300 years old, while the Friday theory is almost 2,000 years old. Somehow Good Wednesday just doesn't quite make it. But I want to go back to Passover. And I hope you all had fantastic seders. It's a word that simply means order, which has taken on the meaning of the entire evening because the dinner, the rituals, the questions, the story are all intricate pieces of the dance of the order of events, all which can be found in this book that you all are familiar with and that you all read from. It too now marks certain spring rituals. As many began the process of, getting back together after winter's apart. We don't see as many people during the winter. And most of our familial gatherings, whether traditional or with modern additions, either to the plate or by song, tend to follow the medieval formula used in this book, and we've used that for the last several hundred years. It's the old familiar, the tried and true. Now, I once again conducted a Seder a little bit closer in line with the original, but with highlights of the modern Passover, including, and this year we introduced finger puppets. Here they are, the finger puppets of the plagues. And that's for everybody's favorite, the dipping of the knife in the wine for each plague. It was full of questions and discussion, possibilities, theories, examples, and the live vibrancy of the lessons and stories, not from 3,500 years ago, but the lessons and stories from now through the ages. A few people wrote to me to tell me they enjoyed the time with their nuclear families as they had more pointed discussions. The time they would have spent reading from the book was devoted to talks about what freedom means, what constraints and pharaohs they have faced, each of them. They talked about the plagues, what they meant, what they did, how they still have a foothold in their lives. They felt more connected to the purpose of the holiday by focusing on the three original foods instead of the modern six, and even more with some of the more modern ones. And that through the food alone, they could tell the entire story for the evening if they wanted to. Now, no one method is better than another. The goal is to get something from your honoring the service beyond simply reading a story that you're not fully relating to. Bring the purpose to life. Now, as is usual, every Seder should be completely different. I've done them for over 100 people. I've done them for 3. I've done them in 45 minutes, and I've done them in 6 hours. No two are the same. And one of the reasons each is different is that wherever possible, I never use the book. I stick to the original instruction. V'hagadal diber b'yom hahu, and you shall tell your son. Haggadah is the name of the book we read, which simply means to tell. So we should tell the story as it relates to us. It's not a story to be read. It's a story to be told. Whether there are 2 or 200, you have to encourage everybody to speak, but from the heart, not from the page. The page doesn't hold the same magic for them. It's not about martyrs or children. It's about you. It's about what holds you back. It's about what is the fear in your life. Who or what is your pharaoh, your master, your constraint? How do you break the chains and be free of the fear that holds you? Unchain my heart. Baby, let me be. 'Cause you don't care. So please, set me free. Unchain my heart. Baby, let me go. Unchain my heart. 'Cause you don't let me no more. Hearts, chains, freedom, love, all central to the celebration of this one event. Now, this is the most important biblical holiday. Why? What's more important than freedom? Every generation of man since the wilderness generation has fought for it and fought to preserve it. Today we can look around and see it disappearing. In our lives, we only know freedom. It's how we grew up. Freedom of speech, freedom of choice. We've never known the type of slavery from history which we know about, read about, which we know still exists in so many insidious ways. Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, the cornerstones of our lives have been busy being curtailed by social media, by the government. Once they're gone, they don't come back so easily. God made the world and everything in it free. Yes, there are laws that govern certain aspects to keep it on track, but there is only one animal on earth that takes it away from another, and that is man. And I'm always reminded of Genesis 6:6, and I keep wondering, maybe God was right, and the Lord saw the evil of the human creature was great on the earth, and that every scheme of his heart's devising was only perpetually evil. And the Lord regretted having made the human on earth, and was grieved to the heart. And the Lord said, I will wipe the human race I created from the face of the earth, from human to cattle to crawling thing to the fowl of the heavens, for I regret that I've made them. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Damn Noah, sucked God in. But we are slaves. We all have created a Pharaoh who rules us. And we celebrate this holiday every year, reminding us of the need to be free, to free ourselves of that Pharaoh. And one of the things we talked about, which the food reminded us of, is the fact we are survivors. And we honor the survivors and victims of our own lifetimes, sadly disappearing due to age and time. Those of the Holocaust. Now we should also be honoring those of the Second Holocaust, the slaughter of October 7th. And don't forget, coming up in about a week is Holocaust Remembrance Day, Yom HaShoah, on the 27th day of Nisan, April 24th this year. There's no formal ways of honoring the day. But I thought maybe each of us go home, light a yahrzeit or memorial candle, help elevate the souls of the martyr generation and the souls that you have lost. Now, there's no official liturgy, although the closest might be the Reform movement's 6 days of destruction. Not to be outdone, the conservative movement produced Megillat HaShoah, the Holocaust scroll. It contains personal recollections of Holocaust survivor and is written in biblical style. It really is an amazing piece of work. I wish more would see it. It was composed under the direction of one of my alma maters, the Hebrew University of Jerusalem in Israel, and the Schechter Institute. And I know several of the rabbis and scholars who worked on it. It's a time to honor those who came before. And holidays are times to honor guests as we welcome others. Everyone you know. Celebrate our coming together and our ability to freely come together. Like when we come together to celebrate as a community, a collective consciousness of seekers showing faith, any and all faith, love, any and all love, true chavura, a fellowship as we express our nature of kindness, compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes that unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. Sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay, even though we're together. We're individual in our approach, each connecting in his or her their own way. So once again, go ahead and invite everybody you know, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, any way at all to gather and share. From Psalm 133, the Hine Matov, come together. Hine Matov, Shevet Navim Gam. Hine matov u'ganai, shevet achim gam yachad. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. 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 Together. We support each other in this community, so let's all spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world. Remember, friends, this is you setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your own sacred space to honor and converse with whoever, whatever you happen to believe in, because we all believe in something. It's part of your kavanah, your intention. You put it out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you correct. It is your intention that sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives, my friends. Let's take some time now. Let's use that intention. Send some of that goodwill, some light, some healing out to whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal for everyone. Float through space, finding those in need. So send it out. For those you know and for the souls and spirits of everybody you love, think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love or just plain goodwill. Focus on them, call their names. It's not just for people. It's for our pets, for the earth. It is the healing of the world. The tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. It's not something we complete. It's an ongoing task to be dealt with in this lifetime. It's for every lifetime. We must each do our own individual part. We must each do what we can to improve and change our own little corner of the universe. Because as we change ourselves, we change our conditions of life. And a part of the healing of the world is when we send thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. They don't have to be sick. It's for those in our hearts and our minds. So let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers for those in need and the innocent hostages of terror still being held. So think of whoever, call the names of those you wish to send healing and renewal to. It is the kindness, my friends, the healing wishes, goodwill, and love. It's what we all send out. It just circles the world, finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit, my friends, never dies. Me. Evotenu Makor HaBracha Nimotenu. May the source of strength bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Let us say Amen. Mishaberach. Let us all have our spirits renewed. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal the diseases healed before. Mishaberach. May He who blessed. So all healing's a blessing, my friends. Let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. Let me give a special thank you because you're all devoting a little of your sacred time and your sacred space to me and to the world. So thank you. And I'm very appreciative of it because this is what your time is. It is you spending sacred time, honoring your own beliefs. And if you can take a full day for it, it's great. But if not, just a little bit. Whatever part of your day is great because you're putting your intention into it. It's your kavanah that you send out to the world. What a world. Look around. We see we're descending into a world of fear. Real, palpable. And again, seemingly centered with a rapidly growing volume on the hatred of Jews and the hatred of Israel. Hatred of Jews because they're Jews is running at a fever pitch. Something no one thought could possibly come again. It's come again. The dumbing down of society is on full display. Hating anyone for simply being who they are is never necessary. It's never acceptable. How does anyone with a brain shout, I am Hamas, one of the worldwide recognized terror organizations centered on hate and destruction? Well, I guess I answered my own question. They obviously have no brain. It's not a stretch to understand that organization is extremely anti-Semitic. It's dedicated to the eradication not just of all Jews everywhere, but of the entire country of Israel, to be replaced with an Islamic state, a dictatorial, rigid state, I might add. Talk about freedom. It's not enough to simply want a recognized state for another group, but to eradicate another one as a goal takes us backwards as a society, my friends, not forwards. And it won't stop there. It doesn't just stop with the Jews. That's just the starting point. The world is nuts. It's upside down and it's gone completely. Cockamamie. Well, you do what you can. Can't do much more than that. No, you can't do what I just said. Some days you're pretty sharp. Other days you feel half dead. Didn't want to be a star. Wanted just to play guitar in this cockamamie business. No one should shout out for terrorists. The shouts should be for the freedom of the hostages. With living few there may still be left. For the freedom of the world and everyone in it. And to free yourself. So here we are in what is known as the Chol HaMoed, the intermediate days of the holiday, and that simply means between the beginning and end of the holiday. All those days are the Chol HaMoed, the in-between days. And it's of the 2 7-day festivals, this one and Sukkot. And during the intermediate days, we don't read fresh part of the Torah. And the intermediate days always impact one Sabbath. And so it suspends normal Torah continuation, and so we reread an older one. But we get a chance to think about what the holiday's for. So what's transpired in the story we retell and have retold for 3,500 years? There's a reason we picked that one. We had the great calling card of God, the plagues, and the Passover meal. The people are told they can leave. So they gather their gold, their silver, all their valuables. Now, if they were slaves for 400 years, where'd the wealth come from? We know they weren't really slaves as we think of them. But you do not think of yourself as a slave, do you? To your job, to your lifestyle, to any of the myriads of things which constrain us? But they did not have the freedom that we all have. Anyone in any of the Middle Eastern countries, other than Israel, do not have real freedom. Rights are not rights. They are gifts. Oh, we had the great splitting of the Red Sea, the exhilarating dance and song of Miriam, the drowning of Pharaoh's army. And during all this, Moses took the time and ensured one of the things which was promised, the removal of the bones of Joseph to be carried with the people, as we are reminded in Exodus 13:19. And Moses took with him the bones of Joseph, who had exacted an oath from the children of Israel, saying, God will sure to take notice of you. Then you shall carry up my bones from here with you. It was done. Moses made sure it was done. Why would a promise made hundreds of years earlier be important enough to do on this march for freedom? Well, friends, promises made should always be promises kept. This is one of the key themes of freedom. Your word sets you free, and your word binds you. Fulfill your promises. So be very careful what you promise. These intermediate times are the times to think about what the holidays represent. In this case, it's your own chance to be free of the fear, the Pharaoh that holds you in Egypt, in Mitzrayim, in confinement, in constraint. Freedom's not just a physical thing. You are more or less physically free. It's your mental freedom, emotional freedom, your freedom to choose. And we have always have some of these restricted freedoms, and that, my friends, impacts you emotionally, socially, physically, psychologically, spiritually, in all ways. The true story of Passover is not the story of Egypt then, but of Egypt now. How did you free yourself from the pharaohs you created, and how do you free yourself from the pharaohs you create today? So choose, embrace freedom. But do it really, not just by reading a story. Make it a part of your real life. From this moment on in the Torah, things change. The introduction of God from this point on is always with this phrase: the Lord your God who brought you out from the land of Egypt, from a house of slaves. The new permanent calling card of God, not as creator, but as liberator. As liberation is the most important, freedom. Passover serves another purpose too. Not only are you eating the bread of the priest, putting your ego aside for a week and expressing your holiness, but we're beginning the countdown to the Epiphany, the 10 rules for life spoken to you and you alone. Who doesn't need an epiphany? God created the world and all the people the same, to be one, to be different parts of a greater whole, as it was in the beginning, so we hope it will be in the end. It just seems to be taking quite a while to get there, my friends. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. As it was done in the beginning, one love. So shall it be in the end. One heart, alright. Give thanks and praise to the Lord, and I will feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright. We do praise God. We do have faith and hope in faith. Moreover, there's a faith component to everyone's life, including atheist lives. You see, even atheists believe good and evil really do exist. That life may have a purpose beyond the one he or she has made up. Or the free will exists, or for that matter, that science alone may not explain how the universe came about, or how life arose from non-life, or how intelligence, and I do use that term loosely these days, arose from non-intelligence, even though that clock does seem to be going backwards. They strive for reason in favor of faith, but they don't rule it out. And freedom is the freedom to believe what you choose, and the freedom for you to truly be you. And how many of you know who you are? Now, in addition to this being the time of freedom, there's a special time of the holiday, because the last day of Passover is also one of the times of the year we do Yizkor, the public mourning service. Now, the word Yizkor means to remember, and it refers to a special prayer said on behalf of family members and others who've passed. It's an opportunity for living relatives to have an elevating spiritual impact on the soul of a departed loved one. For the person saying Yizkor, it can be a very important, reflective moment. Originally, it was only said once a year at Yom Kippur, but now it's said 4 times. Yom Kippur and the 3 gathering festivals of Passover, Shavuot, and Sukkot. Now, Yizkor can be recited on behalf of any relatives, though people are most often saying it on behalf of those for whom Kaddish is said, which is the parents, children, siblings, spouse. And although the Yizkor service is brief, you will often see all congregants other than those who will be saying Yizkor leave the synagogue while it's said. It's not a requirement. You still can participate, even if just to honor those you want to say a remembrance for. It's also not necessary to be done in a synagogue as part of a service. Anyone can at any time in the year say Yizkor privately at home. It is simply the honoring and remembering of anyone, and it sends energy out to the universe, and is actually something we often do. We often remember them. We call upon them when we want to speak to them. We're each different. We each observe in our own way. And a non-communal, quiet, personal way is just as good as any other. We're brokenhearted. We mourn for those we love. I tell those who ask that the effort to say Yizkor is a beautiful statement of respect for the departed in itself. For people not familiar with the prayer service and who may not read Hebrew, there's always people in a synagogue ready to help one learn how to say Yizkor. It's a time to honor the members of your family, your community, those you knew, those you heard about, those whose paths you never crossed, the martyrs and freedom fighters of history, to honor and to elevate the spirits of them all. We all know Judaism does not spend a lot of time talking about the afterlife. Most people get most of their knowledge of it from movies or TV. It's been an important part of the study of Judaism, but not disseminated well. It's still primarily kept in the realm of rabbinic studies, the mystical parts of religion. And it primarily explored and exploded knowledge-wise in the Middle Ages, when there was a hell of a lot more discussion of these things. We come into this world composed of three parts: the body, the personality, and the soul. And I've talked about it before, and you should have heard that. But each is with a different time frame of existence. The body the least, the soul the most. So you can figure out how it works. The essence of every human life is the soul. After death, the soul lives on. Yizkor is about life, death, and eternity, about the core mission we all share to bring light, life, kindness, goodness into this world. But the unequaled bond and timeless connection between you and someone you loved and still do. Yizkor is far more than a ritual or a prayer. It's a gift from your soul in this world to the soul of your loved one in the next. The idea of remembrance is founded on two fundamental Jewish beliefs: that the prayers and actions of people in this world can have an elevating spiritual effect on the souls of the departed, and that a primary mission in every person's life is to make the world a kinder, better, more beautiful place. The pursuit of goodness and kindness is known as Olam Chesed Yibaneh, to build a world of kindness. The brief Yizkor service during this holiday is a beautiful expression of these ideas. When you make an effort to help someone, and do so in honor of a departed relative, then that person becomes the motivating cause behind your act of kindness. The result is threefold. You become better, more giving person. The departed soul of your relatives elevated, and the recipient benefits from your kindness and generosity. So bless you all. Enjoy the upcoming week, the Easter break, a week of love and light, a week of peace. Work on manifesting your new year, your new life, with all your newfound freedom, but especially the freedom to be just you. Honor and remember the people in your life, and honor the journey you were on. Honor yourself. Friends, keep your eyes open to what you may not be seeing. Keep your ears open. Listen to the world all around you. Remember, we're we set in motion everything that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavan, our cause, our effect. It's all linked. And as I've said, you always have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad, so acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. But always ask forgiveness, but always do so with sincerity, accountability, vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate. Do not stop your journey ever. Keep moving. You're moving towards your promised land. It is in sight. It's right in front of you. Just keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Never follow fear. Follow love. It's always in front of you. And act with purity of heart and mind. Despise none. Defraud none. Hate none. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth. May all people know peace in this year. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere. Work to be present in the body. Expand the heart, quiet the mind. Because the deepest source of real power lies in your consciousness, in your ability to be present in all of life's circumstances. Work on your intentions. Continue to believe in the premise of decency, goodness, humanity. Turn your dreams into your belief into reality. Put intent into the new beginnings of the spring of your life. Focus on being free. Give love, my friends. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger, and be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you whether you know it or not. Remember and honor all those who had an impact, and hold on to the greatest gift of all, freedom. Freedom of everything. It's there. We shall all be free. We shall all be free. We shall all be free someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. Now, probably forgotten until the recent Bob Dylan movie, the great Pete Seeger, father of it all. We shall be free. So be happy, be healthy, be helpful, be kind, be loving, and print your will on the blank canvas of life. And join us next week when we return to the regular weekly show, and join as the week of waiting for the ordination of the priesthood is over and a new order is born. Shabbat Shalom and blessings to you all. Take care. Thank you, my friends.